Don't forget to comment below what you're up to this weekend. And let me load up the iPad here so I can start to see if there's anyone in the chat already. I've had weird internet issues all day where everything was like disconnecting from my Wi-Fi and I had to reconnect and I don't know what's going on. So just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna do a little ad hoc journaling and planning. I feel like I just wanna do a live stream. I don't have anything specific planned otherwise. So yeah. I see Amber's here from Amber's Journey. Amber, how are you doing? I hope you're not at work. I hope you're doing well. I know you had like some, I think you did the move and you had medical stuff. Or no, you weren't moving, but you had medical stuff. So I'm sure you've had a lot on your plate. I hope you're doing well. Let's see if this is working here. The good news is that the horizontal is showing. So clearly that is now working, which is great. So yeah, I've basically done no real journaling or planning lately, and I'm gonna just work in my Jibun Techo 1, I forget what it's called, and maybe do a little bit of kind of memory keeping and drawing. And then this is my Kokyo Campus Planner, which is what I was using at the university. I'm now on summer break, but I think I'm gonna use it just for planning for the next week, just because I have a lot of stuff that I keep forgetting about. And I just put stickers that I've collected from different places on this. So yeah. Not sure if anyone else is going to be able to join us because I did kind of decide this at the last minute. Basically, I wasn't sure if I was having plans tonight, and then I found out around 3 o'clock that I won't be having plans tonight. It'll all be tomorrow. So I was like, oh, I could quickly set up a live stream and then pick some things to do. So wasn't planning on it, but I'm excited and happy that you are here. So first things first, I just picked some random items. I decided I would share these Dollar Tree stamps that I saw when I was there recently. Obviously, we had to get the coffee stamps, right? But then there were bird stamps, and y'all know that I'm like obsessed with birds, so I had to get those as well. And I've got my pencil case that I've been using. This has basically been like all I've really been working out of over the past, I don't know, 2 months or so. Also, let me know if the audio is good, because I just realized maybe I didn't check the volume on my phone. Okay. I know there's a way that I'll be able to live stream with my new camera, but honestly, I tried watching a YouTube video to figure out how to do it, and it just looked really confusing, and I gave up. So we're just using my phone today to live stream. So in here, I also have like washi tape and just stickers and paper clips. This is kind of just like a journaling on the go. I have a fountain pen in here, Sakura Micron, pencil, just you can just grab this and work out of it. So, and then I have my colored pencils. All right, so the big thing that happened to me last week, which I guess I should draw, is I got a new car, which was not planned at all. It needed to get done, and I just did it. My car was 13 years old. She served me better than I could imagine, and she's still fine. I was able to sell her, but her air conditioning compressor was about to go out, and it's really hot here in Tennessee, and there's no way that I could live without AC at the kickoff of summer, right? So luckily my friend's husband is a car dealer in Virginia and was able to get me a super great deal. The caveat was I had to go up there to get the car and do everything, and it's about like an 8-hour drive away. So I had to carve out some time to do that, which is fine because I got to see my friends and all that. To make matters worse and so on brand for me, an hour before I was going to the dealership, my back injury that I have had for ages now, like flared up. It only flares up once or twice a year, and of course it flared up right before I was supposed to go to the dealership to get my new car. So the experience like kind of flash before my eyes because I was just in so much pain and I was trying to hide it that I just like I don't remember much of that day because I just went to get I just wanted to get the car and like go to my hotel and just be done with it, you know? So I wasn't in the best of moods but that's okay. So I guess I should draw that I got a new car. Let's see, today is what? Friday, June 7th. So this is June. I will tell you one thing about the Kokyo Jibun Techo, at least this one. When I look at the top, I sometimes look at the wrong number. And I realize I journal on the wrong date. Like, this is June, which is month 6, right? But June 4th. But, like, sometimes I look at it as June 6th or April. Like, I don't know why that throws me off, but it does. So which day did I actually get my new car? It was last week. I drove back for Tennessee on Thursday, so I must have got the car. No, that's not right. Yeah, I got the car on Wednesday. So we'll draw the cat getting a new car, maybe saying bye to my old car. So what's been going on with everyone else? Like, what's new with you? I'm gonna say bye. My old car's name was Olga. And then I'm gonna say hello, new car. And then I'm just gonna draw my cat maybe. And honestly, I watched a video from Linda Tortajala, and because I've been feeling so like uncreative. Is that a word? Uncreative? Discreative? Not creative. And basically she talked about how like it's a process and just doing like a few minutes a day will help. So I'm kind of wanting to overhaul my planning and journaling notebooks that I'm using, but I just haven't had time to sit down and do it. So I will probably move away from this book, especially because it's an Avec and it ends at the end of the month. And in my head, I was like, oh, before I do a live stream, before I do a video, I should pick out a not new, but like new to me, like switch up my notebook and put my notebook and switch my notebook. And I was like, no, I don't need to do that. I can just draw for what it is in this page. And if I do happen to switch my notebook in the future, I can do that. So maybe some of you all can relate. Also put that in the chat or in the comments, like, if you feel like you have to set everything up before you can start using it, like you kind of have to have this like blessing that everything's perfect and then you can write or draw or plan. I think that is part of the whole like aesthetic and YouTube community where we like have to make everything look perfect. And I'm trying to break out of that habit. So hello, Amber. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I finished work at 5 o'clock today. And luckily my boss finished early, so it was kind of a nice, more quiet afternoon. I'm drawing my cat. Yep, I'm doing good. It's just been so hectic. So many things happened. The end of my semester was really rough. There was a lot of like drama that happened with one of our faculty advisors and professors, like really, really bad. And it like really affected everyone. So like by the time all that was over and finals were done and I graded final papers, it's like my brain mentally just wasn't happy. And then to top it all off, it's like then I needed to buy a new car, which I didn't plan on doing. So I feel like I didn't have any time off yet, really. I don't know if anyone ever just needs to like not think for a day and either just watch TV, like mindless TV, not even like a good show you're into or like a movie. You just need to watch something that you've either already seen and just like zone out and drink coffee or like eat M&Ms or something and just not think for like, and not look at your phone or anything for a solid 5 hours. I think that is a very valuable thing. And I haven't really done that yet, but I feel like I need to. So I'm just drawing my old car. Remember, I'm not an artist at all, so my drawings are, yeah. So I bought this car brand new in 2011. It was my first and only car, my first car ever. And yeah. I'm just gonna write so many adventures. And then I'll draw my new car, which is similar in size, but it's definitely longer. And I think maybe a little bit bigger. It feels bigger. I'm not like a car person, by the way. I just buy what I like, or in this case, what deal I was able to get. Like, I'm not particular about cars. I'm more particular about notebooks than I am about a $20-some thousand piece of machinery. Isn't that ironic? Like, I would spend more time picking out a notebook at Walmart than I would picking out a car or another major life purchase. So maybe some of you all can relate to that as well. Like, I don't have trouble making big life decisions. I have trouble picking out like the right toothpaste at Walmart because there's too many choices and I stand there and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what toothpaste should I pick? But if it's like buy a car or pick an apartment or decide on if you're going to move to a new state or not, I'm just like, oh, okay, this one. Like, I don't even have to think about it. It's weird. So I'm going to try to draw like hearts in the eyes. Speaking of cats, since I'm drawing my cat here, I'm cat sitting again this weekend. It was a very spur of the moment thing. My friend had to leave and go to West Virginia suddenly. So I was like, I can take care of her. She is a super fun, sassy cat. She's one of those cats that acts like a dog, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. And that's why I love her, because she's like all up in your business. She's not one of those cats that like wants to disappear and not be around you. She wants to share in your business, and I love that. So I grew up with dogs, I never had a cat. Yes. Oh, David's here. Welcome. Happy Friday. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. Yes, the fewer options, it's kind of like, well, I need a car, and here's a car that I can get a good deal on. Like, I didn't get to pick my color. It was basically like they had this specific car that he knew was in their inventory that would be perfect for me, and he was allowed to get a really big discount on. And I was just like, okay. The only thing I went to do was I went to the dealership here in Knoxville to test drive the model, even though it was like a little bit different, just because I'm so tall that I have to make sure I can physically fit into cars. That might also not be a problem that some of you have, but I'm 6'4", so like small cars, just like flying on small planes, can be rough for me. So I just wanted to go and make sure that I physically could fit in the car, which of course I did. So yeah, I did a test drive, but it was like the super expensive premium model. That's like used for like off-roading, but they assured me that the size on the inside, like the seat placement, the ceiling placement was the same in the base model. So I didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, see, 5'7", that's a good height. You don't have issues. I have issues. Even when I forget where I was, like, because I lived in Europe and I used to go to China for work. And I just, in general, always have issues with like hitting my head or not fitting in small places. Um, I think when I was a student in Russia years ago, like almost 20 years ago, um, me and my roommate at the time, he was the same height as me. Whenever we would go places, we would take pictures of each other where of us hitting our head, and I think we had like a photo album by the end of the semester of us hitting our head in every theater and fancy place in St. Petersburg, Russia. So that was fun. Um, And then let's see, so my old car. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying, sorry. I was getting so excited. Amber loves the room. Oh my gosh, you're 5'1" and you drive a Toyota Highlander. By the way, Amber, Toyota Highlanders always have really good reviews, and people like, because I was reading a lot about like used cars and just looking stuff up because I was curious, and like everyone always swears by the Toyota. I think that's what it is, the Toyota Highlander. Yeah, having the room is definitely nice, and I will tell you that. Oh yes, I went from a Mitsubishi to a Subaru, and I will tell you that. Wait, what was I going to say? Oh, because my first car was from 2011, I didn't have a backup camera. I didn't have anything like electronic besides like the windows. There was no LCD screen. There was no Apple CarPlay. There was none of that. So suddenly getting a car that has those things, that's like pretty standard nowadays for everyone. Like every car legally now has to have a backup camera. It's just such a nice change. Although I don't always trust the camera, I still look 100% of the time because I'm just me and I'm super paranoid. But yeah. Yes, they run forever. That's what everyone says. Also because Toyotas are also like known for that, I guess. But I've even watched like vloggers on YouTube and stuff who have the Toyota Highlander, and they always talk about how they like never want to have to give it up, and they're going to try to keep it as long as possible. So these are my Milan colored pencils from Kinokuniya in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to color them in. These are really buttery smooth. I do still love my Dollar Tree pencils. And if you have a Dollar Tree near you, I would say it's worth it to try their color pencils. But these ones are just a little bit easier to work with. That's true. Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean that I'm wrong. I need to get that printed on a t-shirt and remind myself of that daily. I'm just very, I mean, I guess I'm more old school about a lot of stuff. Like, even though I use Google Calendar and stuff, and obviously you use planners, like, I still have a wall calendar hanging on my wall because I like to look at it. Just easier. Just like I still have DVDs and CDs and everything, because nowadays everything streams, right? Well, what happens if your internet goes out? And then you can't watch anything. You need to have like a DVD player and some DVDs as a backup for when, you know, your Xfinity goes out and you're stuck inside and you want to watch something. So I'm just coloring in here. Thank you, Cheryl, and welcome. Happy Friday. Let us know in the chat what your plans are for this weekend. Any plans. It doesn't have to be anything crazy exciting. Also, what's everyone doing for dinner? If it's not dinner time where you live yet, what do you plan on doing for dinner? After this, I need to go take care of the cat. I'm going to play with her. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. And my old car was a really bright blue. She was pretty famous for that. But my new car is like a metallic gray, which is a little bit more refined. Also, I'm older now, so I didn't really want, not that I had a choice, but I didn't really want anything that was too outspoken or bright. I just wanted something more like utilitarian, generic. Let me see. Okay. Amber says, the only issue you run into around me is that you have to take it to a dealership to get work done. No one will touch. Oh, really? Is that because, like, it's complicated and they don't want to mess any, like, they don't want to make it worse because they might not be, like, Toyota experts, so they want you to take it to a Toyota? That's interesting. Ironically, so I have a warranty on my new car, right? But because I had to drive 500 miles to get it, and then 500 miles back, it's like it already has a lot of miles on it just from driving it back home. And then I will be driving to DC and New Jersey in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, because I'm dog sitting for a week, and then I'm going to the office in DC for my part-time job, aka my previous job that I had for 10 years before I moved to Tennessee. And then I am going to the Jersey Shore and visiting my family, which will be exciting. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to hurry up and get a new car, is because I'm actually driving a lot this summer. Because this summer I'm only working my government job. I'm not teaching, I'm not taking classes, I'm not tutoring. So the only downside to working in education is you really only have summer and Christmas off and like the spring break week. You can't like take a vacation or take time off, during the year. So I was looking forward to having a very busy summer of doing things. I wasn't expecting my car to have this issue at the onset of summer. So, but now I have a reliable car, right? So I don't have to worry about if I am driving a lot. So what? That's what cars are for, right? To be driven. I'm not going to worry about the mileage and all that fun stuff and putting wear and tear on the car, because you never know what's going to happen in life. Yeah, gray seems to be the new thing. I think my sister got a gray car. My neighbor got a gray car. I think that's like the new standard. Even when you look at a lot of the cars, the new ones, like the color choices, they're usually like like they're gray, black, white, or maybe like a powdery blue now. Yeah, 500 miles already. Probably more than that. It's probably like 600 now because I've been running errands. But my old car had 145,000 miles on it, and it served me for 13 years, so it's good enough for me. Okay, new car. Let's see. And then I want to use the stamps for fun. I'm just going to color this pink, even though the logo isn't really pink. But I just want some color on the page. Is anyone ordering any new, like, July start date items, whether it's for Hobonichi, whether it's for a planner? I'm not sure if Erin Condren planners are July start or maybe August starts. Spoiler, I did order a planner that has a July start the other day. It's July, it's like academic year, because my life now has to be based off the academic year, right? And I'll make a video about it, but it was on flash sale for $5, and I could not get it for $5, right? So whether it ends up being a planner I use when I start work again in August, I don't know, but I was like, for $5, I'm gonna try it out. I won't say anything else about it, but it was like a 50% off limited time deal, so I just had to try it. I'm officially not stressing about like using, like if you buy something, you don't like it, or you say you're gonna like it and then it turns out you don't like it, but you feel like you have to use it because you said you're gonna like it, right? I'm trying to get away from that. If I don't like it, toss it to the side, pick something else. We don't have to keep forcing ourselves to do things, right? Okay, Cheryl said to keep telling yourself the same thing, car 2020. 100,000? What kind of car is it? I feel like 100. I'll tell you though, the used car prices are out of this world. I would see like 2014 cars with like 90,000 miles, 100,000 miles, and they would still be on sale for like $19,000. The market is absolutely insane. So I feel like 100,000 is pretty much the new like norm, and like no one would bat an eye. But I don't have to commute here really. Like I drive a few miles to and from the university every day. So it's not like I'm really commuting far or anything like that. Yes, $5 planner, but $150 plotter. I will tell you that I really have been considering nixing all of my Raymay Da Vinci plans, and I might sell it. I don't know. I had this weird idea the other day that I might go through and start selling some of the stationery that I don't use, because I feel like I should get rid of stuff I'm not using and then make room and then make money to buy new stuff. I don't know. I see a lot of people do that, like those who have not stationery, those who have like Instagram pages and stuff, they'll sell their old items. I don't know if I'm that sophisticated or I really feel like going through the trouble. I used to sell a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace when I moved last year, and that was really successful. But I'm gonna just bet that the market for planners and stationery and notebooks in Knoxville, Tennessee is not that big locally, so I probably won't get many people interested locally, so I'd have to do something and ship it to them, which is a pain, right? But we shall see. I also have this fear that this fall I'm not going to be able to work my part-time job because my part-time job that I have really pays all my bills. Because I get paid a lot more than I do at the university. But this fall, not only am I teaching, but I'm also working as a writing center professional tutor, which is different because I have to physically be at the writing center on the campus, and you have like a set schedule, like a, you know, kind of like a 9 to 5. It's more of like an hourly job than just being a teacher where you have to do stuff at home. And my schedule's so complicated in the fall that I don't even know if I'm gonna have the ability to work my part-time job, which I'm hoping that's not the case. Fingers crossed. So I'm also worried about that. I'm like, ooh, my income is gonna be drastically reduced if I have to give up this job. But again, not overthinking things lately. I'm just doing it for the fun. So we're just coloring in here. It's kind of, I forgot how much I enjoy just like doodling and then coloring stuff in. And there's something about the Sakura PN marker that's like, I think it's, obviously, it doesn't have a metal tip, right? That's why it's called plastic nib. But sometimes when you write with these pens and they have the metal nib all the way up to the tip, it just can feel kind of like, what's the word I want to use? Not scratchy. I don't know, you just feel the rigidness of the metal like on a page, especially if it's this kind of paper where it's really thin. And I feel like it's dragging across the page more. Not sure if that makes sense, but take away from that what you will. Okay, so we got our little new car stitch here. And then I want to try out some of these stamps. So these are the ones from Dollar Tree. I want to try the coffee one, and maybe we can color it in. How did I? One exciting thing was, while I was up there, I was able to go to the Afghan market to get some of the spices that I'm not sure if I can get here. And I was able to go to my favorite grocery store in the world, which is Lidl. And I was able to buy some of my favorite coffee and stuff from them. And when I dog sit at the end of the month for a whole week, I'll be there over 4th of July. I will be able to go to all these places because my coworker lives in DC, so I'll be able to like go to those kind of places when I have some free time, which I'm excited for. So maybe if I just put, actually, let's do these together. So let's put a little coffee. So this is the acrylic block thingy. So I'm putting 2 of the coffees. Let's be wild and see if I can stamp each one a different color. Y'all know I'm horrible with this. What are you curious about? I can answer any curiosity question. Okay, actually, oh, does this have an expiration date on it? I just noticed that on the bottom. Or it's just like a lot number. That's kind of funny. It looks like an expiration date for like food or medicine. That's random. What about the stamps? Here are, we're doing coffee. if you have a Dollar Tree near you, I definitely recommend going in there periodically, except now they're really starting to up the prices. I know I saw the CEO said something about how they're like gonna raise prices and they're trying to attract higher income clientele. And I'm like, okay, a lot of us are at the Dollar Tree because it's not a high income place. So I don't know. I'm assuming eventually that CEO will be ousted because the world is just crazy now. And now we're seeing all these stores coming out lowering their prices because they've been price gouging us this whole time and are realizing people are fed up. So interesting what's going on. Now, why does it feel like this ink isn't going down at all? You can kind of see it. Could it be dried up? I don't know. That is gonna be the mystery. Okay. I'm gonna put it down here. Can you see? Okay, sorry. I'm not realizing if I'm in the camera frame. Okay. Yeah, it didn't. That is not the best, is it? Now, was it the ink or was it me? That is the eternal question. Let's try it again. Oh, maybe I should do it where I'm pushing the stamp down onto the pad. Maybe that'll offer a better ink ratio. So we're doing the red color. This is distress ink too, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I feel like it should be a little bit more opaque, right? Okay, now we're doing the coffee pot, or coffee cup. Yeah, McDonald's claims that they're targeting a higher, and like that's the actual verbiage that they use during press releases, that they're trying to attract like higher income individuals. And I'm like, y'all forgot the point of these places. It's not for hire, it's for people that can't afford fancy restaurants. We still want to have that nice experience, but yeah. And this is coming from a former McDonald's employee. I worked there for like 3 years, and I don't ever remember getting no rich people coming up in there. So I don't know what they're thinking. Let's try again. And I'm just gonna put it down and press harder. Okay, a little bit better, but I think it's just the ink. And now I actually really like that, and I might do a third one because it kind of looks like it's like a design of something. They also forget what their food tastes like. Well, that's true. I mean, the only reason I still go to McDonald's is because if you have the app, you can get really good like promos. And I really only go to get iced coffee, because usually you can get their large iced coffee for 99 cents, which in this economy is a blessing. And there's also a lot of McDonald's around here in Tennessee. So it's really easy to stop and get yourself like a $1 iced coffee. I worked here, so I was like a junior in high school. I was actually like a junior manager at McDonald's. Fun fact, for anyone who's interested, I actually won their like scholarship for college. And I got invited to this like big like reception, and like not the CEO, but like these really high up people were there, and I like got to go on stage and I got an award. And like at the time I didn't really realize how big of a deal it was, even though it wasn't that much money, because I was like 15 or 16, but it was still really exciting. Okay, one last stamp here. $1.49, which still is not too bad, but I also read, David, that they're gonna stop doing fountain drinks. Like they're gonna stop making it free refills. And I did watch a TikTok video the other day of someone who went to some fast food chain, I don't think it was McDonald's, where you had to like scan the QR code on your receipt for the soda machine to even turn on, and then it dispenses that ounces that matches your QR code, and you can't get a free refill. So this is like, this is the world that we're living in. Doesn't seem like it's gonna get any better for regular folk. So don't know. Pushing down much harder now. Okay. All right. and ink on my finger. Perfect. So it's definitely the ink. It's not me. Hashtag, it's not me. Maybe I'm gonna color in with the color pencils. So they did that. They did that. It wasn't like it was just like they removed the soda machine, right? And I think McDonald's had been talking about doing that for like a year or two now. But now the fact that it's starting to exist, that really bothers me. Let's outline one of these stamps with the Sakura Pigma PN. Whoops, gotta put my color pencil back. I don't believe in fast food places not having free refills. I mean, come on, that's like part of the appeal of going to those kind of places, knowing that like you already paid, so you can go get more Diet Coke if you want to. Katie's here from Katie's Nesting Spot. Happy Friday. Let us know what your plans are for this weekend. Especially if anyone has any good dinner plans, because I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner yet, and I need to decide soon before I get too hangry. So I'm going to try to outline this for fun and see how it looks. I don't know about you all, but I feel really out of practice with like everything. With writing, I don't know. Is it summer? Is it just the atmosphere? Is there something in the air? It was definitely, it had to have been a full moon the other night, because I was trying to run errands. And anytime I went somewhere, someone either was like bumping into me, or every aisle I tried to go down at Kroger, they like, someone else was in there and they were taking up the whole aisle, or like then the employee comes, like they're stocking shelves, so there's crates of stuff everywhere. There were multiple times where I just had to like turn around and be like, okay, I guess I'm just not going to go down that aisle. And yeah, so I don't know if it's like a full moon situation, but I had to leave and just be like, okay, I'll come back on another night. And then I went back the other night and everything was fine. So that's why I think sometimes life is just, the vibes are off, and that's just a sign for you to go home and just try again a different day. Don't know if I'm spelling coffee right. Okay. Whew, that was harder than it looks. My goodness. Okay, Katie says you're finishing up progress reports half day Tuesday. Oh, you're still in school? I'm surprisingly, school's already over down here, I think. This is my first time living in the South too, but I was shocked that schools here basically end in May and they start in August. Where I grew up in Pennsylvania, and we always started school after Labor Day, and we always went until mid-June. So I was super surprised to see that like people are taking off before, they're done school before it's even Memorial Day. I was like, what? Like high school graduations were happening like the third week of May around here. And I definitely remember my high school graduation being like June 16th or something. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I won't outline this whole one. I'll just do some of the lines. Okay, opening the Hobonichi, not full moon. Oh, does Hobonichi have the moon cycles on there? I don't think I ever paid attention. Yeah, okay, so in Michigan, so you're not the South, which I don't know why, there's some reason why they start in the South early. But it was really surprising to me. I was like, oh, okay, y'all go super early. Okay, we're just outlining for fun here. And then I want to color in one to see how that would look, maybe. Do you have any fun summer plans, Katie? Once school's over, or is it like too early to think about that? I know that I was hoping to make plans like during finals week and stuff, but it just was so overwhelming. Then I had my students submit an AI generated final paper, and I had to deal with that whole situation. Oh, yeah. The vibes were way off. Even if it's not a full moon, there's something with the vibes. Also, has anyone watched any of like any good movies, or go to the movie theater, or watch any good series or anything like that lately? I might just color this part in brown. Could it be weather related? I was thinking that, yeah, it's probably something to do also, someone told me once it might have something to do with, like tornado season, like certain parts of the country. I guess there's more tornadoes in certain times of year and they don't want people have to go to school or some weather thing. Maybe it was hurricanes. I can't remember. Where I grew up, we had hurricanes and that was pretty much our only weather related issue. Um, so I don't know. Okay, Katie said maybe in the hotter states they go back August to May. Yeah. Oh, California and New Mexico are like that too? Okay. I don't know. I'm a Northeast kid through and through. My first time leaving the Northeast was, well, I mean, to like move, um, was to literally go to another country. I was always in the Northeast living, so that's my frame of reference. I grew up in Pennsylvania and I went to college in Delaware. And then I stayed there for a few years working, and then I went overseas for my job. So, okay, this is not looking right. We're just gonna write the word coffee, so there's something there. That vibe was off. Okay, David's doing Star Trek Discovery now in season 3. Now, is that a new one, or is that you're on season 3 of something that's a little bit older? Like, is it happening today? Is I guess my question. I do go to the movies a lot because I have Regal Unlimited, which is definitely worth it. And so I've pretty much seen all the major movies that have come out in the last 6 months. But at home, I'm watching Hacks season 3 on HBO Max. And so far, I'm not finding it as funny as the first 2 seasons. But I don't know, maybe I just had high expectations. It's like when you get when people tell you about like a really good restaurant or a coffee shop or something, and they like rave about it, and then you go and it just tastes like regular old coffee with microwaved Costco muffins, and you're like, this was the exciting thing, or did I just come on a bad day? I try to track what films I see, but I don't. I never keep up with it. I try to do that in my Reime Da Vinci Planner, and I tried to do that in my Hobonichi, no, my Jibun Techo Biz, and I just always forget. Luckily, I have the Regal app, which like you can see which movies you saw, and then it sends you like a summary of all the movies that you went to. So sometimes I remember through there. But I also don't track all the books that I read, and I wish I was doing that too because I realize I've read a lot of stuff in the last few years, and I don't always remember what it is. So I don't know what a good way is to keep up with tracking things. I do have a Goodreads, which I just use for myself to kind of jot down the titles of stuff that I've read, but I don't really read reviews or write reviews or anything like that. My 100. Yeah, I think Jeep and Techos, actually, does this one have it? Has like a 100 list. Let me see. Does it not? So there's my dream, my event, 100 wishes list. List of. No, there's no like. Maybe I think you just make one of the lists. Let's see if in my Jibun Techo Biz. Does it have the 100 list? So I really will say I had a moment of weakness and I almost ordered the July start Hobonichi Techo because I feel like when I had my Hobonichi, not the Jibun Techo, I drew my cat comic more regularly. If you're an OG, you remember I started that in the summer of 2022. Okay, so here was my book list that I wrote 3 things. And then I wanted to write the book that I wrote and then the number of stars and then one word I would use to describe the book. And I thought I did the same for movies. Recommendation list, favorite phrases, movie list. And I never put anything on that movie list. So this is my 2024 Jibun Techo Biz in A5, sorry. I'm so bad with tracking things. I don't know how y'all do it regularly. I need to, yeah. Then it's like you forget what you've read or watched. I don't know. Someday we'll get there. Or maybe we won't. That's okay. Just part of the process, right? Katie says you need to use your My 100. I've never used it once in 4 years. I don't even remember Hobonichi have. Let me grab my Techo. And I can show you all what I did in 2022. So this is the first Hobonichi cover I bought. This is, I think, 2015. Like, while Hobonichi was still a big thing, but I feel like it hadn't taken off yet. I feel like even the website, when you bought it, back then it was only auto-translate to English. Like, it didn't even have an English menu. I can't remember. I might be thinking of something else. But this is my green cover with the plastic cover on cover. I love green. And this is the cousin size, you know, with the pocket in the back and all that jazz. And I remember I was on a work trip in Albany, New York, in my hotel, and I even made a video of it. And I just was like, okay, I'm forcing myself to draw something. And here's the inspiration for my cat comic. This was the 2022 Life Book thingamabob. And I have such a love-hate relationship with Hobonichi, but I feel like I've made videos about that already. And yeah. So this is how the cat comic was born into like the memory keeping of my life. And as you can see, I like wrote what I did each day. I cooked and I cleaned, and I drew myself as the cat. I got bubble tea. I was dealing with red tape at work. I had curry rice or something. I went to the library, got Chinese food. I packed, I got coffee. There was something about this that like felt, I don't know. I went to Luray Caverns in Virginia, which I highly recommend. I watched YouTube. Here's a picture. I think Job even commented on it. I was watching a Job's journal video and I like drew him on YouTube. I did laundry. I went to a book talk online. I had to go to Georgetown for work. I organized stuff, which I feel like is a story of my life. I'm always organizing. I got my fish tank, rest in peace, Anne Marie. Watched my parents' dog when I was working from their house one day, rest in peace, Sugar. Went out to breakfast. Oh, this is when I went to Omoizaka. There was something about the Hobonichi that let me feel like I could draw this and be cute with it, and like something about the paper, even though I'm not a fan of Tomoe River paper, for some reason, like I was able to draw using this every day. Like for the month. So my goal was to do 1 month, and then I think did I pick it back up or yeah. Linguistics. Oh, that's when I had to co-teach my creative writing seminar in my MA program. Whew, that was a doozy. Yeah, so I was really like talking myself into I should just buy the July start because it's only $35. I would get it from JetPens. I already emailed Hobonichi. If you order the Avec from them, the July start on their website, you do not get any of the free gifts, which was the deciding factors. I was not going to order it from them then. But I just was like, no, I should just draw in what I already have. So I talked myself out of it. Maybe I talked myself into it. But I'm leaving in 2 weeks, and I'll be gone for 3 weeks. So it's like, if I ordered it, I have to do it like soon, so I would receive it in time. But anyway, curry rice for dinner. Let me tell you, David, I went the other day to buy golden curry mix, and the store I got didn't have any left, and I was disappointed because I wasn't at an Asian market. I was like a regular grocery store. Cheryl uses it for pen testing, book tracking, want list. Okay, I must be hungry, Cheryl, because when I glanced at want list, it looked like fries. The word fries to me. Travel. Okay, now is your travel list, Cheryl, places you want to go and then you check them off, or is it just your wish list, or is your My 100 your travel places that you've been to? And then David's, Jenny, okay, April starts for 50% off. But is it April through the rest of the year, or is it April to next summer? I never got to go there, and I could go when I'm in DC because they do have a store, but I honestly don't want to go to that neighborhood in that area when I'm there because I don't feel like dealing with traffic and such. Plus, I'm dog sitting, so it's like I can't be away from my coworker's house for more than 4 or 5 hours. But anyway, you're looking at the website. Okay. Yeah. Wait, the whole point of me taking that out was to look at the My 100, and I didn't do that. Let's go back. So maybe the Avec doesn't have a My 100? Is that what our consensus was? Okay, we have the monthly. Okay, the more I'm looking at this, the more I like it more than the Jibun Techo. Ugh. I feel so bad that I used to badmouth Hobonichi and Tomoe River Paper so much, and now I'm like, wait, maybe this. There's something about, I think, the size of the grid in Hobonichi that I like more than the Kokyo Jibun Techo. I don't know if you can see on camera, but the Hobonichi is a lot larger. And I think if you're writing with English lettering, it just feels better to use this. I don't know. I'm not seeing a My 100, so maybe is it in the back? April to April, okay. That could work for me. I see your My 100, okay. Let me see if I can tell what it says using my knowledge of kanji. Nope. This means this year, because that's what it would mean in Chinese. Yaritai koto ya something. Yeah. Favorites. Okay, that's fun. Timetable. I think another thing I like about Hobonichi, even though I talk about how much I hate them sometimes, is that I really like how the company like engages with the content. Like I know they have the contest where you could submit your Hobonichi, your Tetra, just like Traveler's Notebook has. I like all of the thought and detail. I don't know if anyone gets the emails, but I do still receive the emails and periodically read them. That like they'll have like members of their staff, kind of like Yoseka does and maybe JetPens, but there's something different about how Hobonichi does it. It must be like the Japanese thing, where they like write about how they use it and how they show the demonstration of it. They really have it down to a science, is what I would say, and there's something about that that makes it seem kind of like more special. Okay, these are stretches you're supposed to do. Okay, we love that. So she's like stretching with her dog. Did anyone look at these stretches before? Is this in the current one? I don't even know if it's in the current one. Then we have like, maybe is this traditional Japanese? Okay. Says China. So this must be traditional dessert. So it's like mochi, mooncake. Okay, so I guess is this Russia? Gosh, I'm already forgetting all my Japanese. I took Japanese in the fall. Okay. I think this is Argentina. Argentine? I don't know. Okay, let's look wait, what did Cheryl say? Okay, hold on. David said they redesigned it for maybe that's because it's an A6. Jenny's April start sale is cheaper than JetPen's January start sale. Ooh. What's their shipping though with Jenny? Because that's my other thing with these stores, and they have really high shipping requirements. Like Traveler's Company with that $75 shipping requirement kills me, because even if you were to buy a regular standard Traveler's Notebook, you still have to buy something else to get free shipping. And then even when they have other things, it's like you can't just buy the stuff that they're advertising to get the free shipping. You still have to get something else small to go with it. That drives me wild. Cheryl says, make a list up to 100 entries for anything you want, things to accomplish this year, books you've read, movies you've seen. Okay, I don't know if I showed a picture of it. I can't hear on the live, but I actually made a poster board of my summer to-do list from Dollar Tree. Like I got a poster board and markers and stickers, and I made a giant checklist so I could look at it every single day, and I've done a lot of things on the list already. You've tried shops you want to visit. Oh, shops you want to visit. That's interesting. One of the things on my summer checklist items is explore more places in Knoxville, because I feel like I go to the same few places, and I've already done that. I've gone to a breakfast cafe the other day. I've tried a different coffee shop. I've picked up takeout from a different place that I've like driven past a million times. I went to a different park finally, and I like went for a walk around the park, and there was like a lake there. So that was another one of my goals. That's from your English version. Oh, because I guess this cousin was before English cousin came out, right? This is Japanese version. I didn't think of that. I always forget there's a difference. Hobonichi Cousin should be 3.7 millimeter grid, and Jibun is insane. Yeah, see, let me look. Is the Jibun on all the same? Like, if I take my Techo Biz A5, I think it's the same. No? Is it the same size? Okay. Call me crazy, but the Jibun Techo Biz and A5, the grid is definitely seems bigger. I don't know if it's definitely darker than this one. Let's see if at the front if it says. I wonder if on here if it tells you. Anyway. Yeah, so, okay. Anyway. I do like that, and I do kind of miss. But it's like, do you just say you miss that thing because at one point you used it the way you wanted to and you don't know if you're going to use it again? It's like you have this like nostalgia kind of thing. Okay, that day I tried a new espresso. I don't know. And then also Linda made a video about, I forget, it was like about keeping stuff and what you throw away. And like I have that issue where it's like, okay, I have this Jibun Techo with, it's not finished and it's not full, but I like to look through it because it brings up nostalgia. And I feel like this is almost like a finished work to me, right? Like these collection of drawings. But then if you don't finish the notebook, it's like you add it to your shelf with other semi-empty notebooks. I feel like I could also make a whole video about like the empty notebook syndrome or whatever you want to call it. ENS, and I feel like that's what I do. It's like I start a notebook and I use a little bit of it and then I'm not using it again. Case in point, when I went to Mexico, I used a specific Mexican made notebook to journal about my trip, which I did, a lot of long form journaling. I need to do a spread of it in my traveler's notebook. So like I took up like this much of that for journaling. I was only gone a few days, right? And now I have the rest of the journal and it's like, do I want to use this for something else? Do I want to rip the pages out of here and put them somewhere else and keep using this notebook, or is like this it? So this has been sitting on my shelf since I came back from Mexico and I'm just unsure of what to do with it. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very specific problem to have. But it's something I think about often. This was the store I tried to go in Mexico City, but when I got there, it didn't look like they were opened. And at that point, I was hangry and tired because it was like just Mexico City super chaotic, like getting places, and I was just tired and I wanted to leave. So I kept going about my day, but I should have stuck around and tried to go in because they make their notebooks inside that place. But it's all good. I still recommend Mexico City 1,000%. I was thinking about today how I kind of want to go again, maybe at Christmas. So if you haven't been to Mexico City, I absolutely recommend it, especially if you're into like, if you're a foodie or if you're just into like learning about the history, the anthropology museum. But you could literally go to Mexico City and just go from coffee shop to coffee shop because there's so many of them. The only thing I felt like there wasn't enough of for me was like bookstores, or there weren't really any stationery stores either or anything like that, but that's okay. Okay, David said they're different planners of different types, brands, and you can keep them as a reference for future purchases. That's a good idea. It's also like why I haven't gotten rid of stuff that I've used before, because it is nice to kind of go and look back, but at some point, you know, how do you keep everything? Okay, it's almost 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. So I would like to wrap it up around 7 because I'd like to do dinner, and I gotta go feed the cat. and play with her. And I might actually stop at Dollar Tree to buy her toys, because I always buy her toys and play with her. So yeah, this is my little spread that we did today. And I actually like how this stamp looks when you color it in with colored pencils. It gives it a lot of depth, much more than if you just outline it. But yeah, so this was the Jibun Techo, I forget what it's always called, day 1. Yeah, I don't know. This ends June 30th, right? This is mini 2024. The next one starts July 1st. But I'm not going to think about July because it's only June 7th, right? We got time. But thank you all for joining me. Again, if you watch this on the live replay, still comment down below what your plans are this weekend, or maybe just what your plans are this month in general. For now, I don't know if I'm going to have a set time to go live because my summer schedule keeps getting moved around a little bit, which is an okay thing. Maybe in the fall, I'll be able to have a regular time to go live. That way, those of you who want to catch me at the same time every time can, but that's also going to depend on, I won't know my schedule and how the semester works and the logistics of everything probably till the end of August, early September. So thank you, Cheryl, so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm so glad Katie were able to catch us. I hope you all have a good weekend. Like I said, what else did I want to say? I feel like I wanted to say something else. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I feel out of practice doing a live because it's been a month since I've done one. But maybe this was good for me because we got to chat. We got to do a live stream. We got to just play in our journals and talk. And maybe that's just what we need to do more often of. But everyone stay safe. And I will see you next time.